So instead of doing what I used to do, and punch people in their face and fight, I learned to be a grown man and go work out, take it all on myself, and get muscles and stuff like that.
So you worked out.
So I work out and take out.
So what else did anyone else do?
Walk away from bullshit.
Okay. Anyone else?
Recently, I've been actually just like ignoring people that I just don't want to talk to. Like, I'll acknowledge that I'm not going to call like disrespect like that, but I'll just say hey and keep moving rather than engage with, people that I feel will bring me down.
Anyone else? Since I know there's a lot of you here, and people make you angry, things make you angry, the rules make you angry. So what are you doing to move forward? What are you practicing? Coping skills. So you guys are big here. So what coping skills are you using to control your anger? Okay, right there, that's a good one.
I just look at the bigger picture, what I'm trying to do. And I just try to ignore things that goes on there.
So basically you stop and you think before you act. What is it worth it? There are consequences?
I take a walk.
That's another good one.
When I get angry, I usually go sit by the water.
What again?
Not him, but I'm saying, when I'm not there in society, I just usually go sit by the water.
So what do you do now when you're in here? You're here, what do you do when you're practicing? Because, huh?
When I'm practicing while I'm in here,
Uh-huh.
I mean, what I do about this is,
He complains.
I get this, I just my emotions. I can shake you down, know you, so, it varies for different people.
What about you? You're new here. Huh? What do you do to control your anger? When people trigger you, everyone has triggers.
Specifically to what,
I can't hear you.
specifically to what, like a person or something?
Yeah, person, place, thing, anything that gets you mad. Yeah, everybody's different. That's why people have different triggers. Some people could be somebody annoying them. Some people, it could be they mess with your nose or something.
Somebody pressing our button. I'm not thinking about it. That number, if you press the issue, let's just walk away with this information, so I don't get involved.
Okay. Anyone else? What are you practicing to control yourself? Because some people act out, some people bitch and moan about this and that or whatever, not because they're mad about, they don't like it. So what do? What are you?
Right, self-respect.
Right. So, okay, the water becomes calm. Once you calm down, was it worth getting angry?
No, we don't work together at all.
Who believes anger caused you to get yourself in some difficult situation?
I believe.
Okay. Why?
Because bad experience.
So what was your experience that caused you to get in that difficult situation?
Just how you say, just feel stupid after work. And you have to, that play in your head.
Well, tatu, tabasi? Yeah. Tatu? Yeah, love it. I did one related by accident, the two go around. So who else gets angry? No one else get angry? Huh?
That's one of my kids, he said, big one.
Who said that? You get angry, your parents do the same.
Oh, yeah, I get angry, yeah. I hope this, you can tell it in my speech. I'm really angry. I'm jumping with you, but that's one of my plans, my treatment plans. Learn about my anger.
Learning about it or how to control.
How to control my anger. I know I need to think. Like I tell Ian all the time. I'm tired of being the producer. I'm tired of being the star. I'm tired of being the producer. I want to be the writer. Because the writer knows the end of the script.
That's cool. So do we have anything to share you?
He done learned somebody's script. He done learned somebody's game.
So why do you say that? So do you want to be a writer? Or do you want to be a shooter?
This ain't no movie, this life.
Well, that's right. What do you think that, okay, instead of acting on your impulses or your anger, therefore you control it, but therefore you would determine the outcome. Because anger can cause you to commit murder, to hurt somebody, to destroy property and all of that stuff. I mean, that's all I know. So therefore, instead of getting angry, he learned self-control. You know, so he writes the ending of the story instead of ending up in jail, instead of ending up hurting someone.
Bible says, "Do not be angry, but sin not, even like the son of God."
Right.
And, in the room, they say, move them up and change the thought. So, you get angry, and I got a short fuse, mostly when it comes to bullshit, excuse me, but there are people that are just doing it for the sake of doing it,
Yeah.
I gotta find something else. And when I do, more than likely, I realize that none of it's working. None of it's working. But, when I'm out there getting high, it's a different story. It's it could lead to me or relapse if I internalize it, which I used to, still do some, but I mean, it leads to health problems. I ended up in the hospital for 30 days because I had an ulcer that blew out and I almost died. And it's like a big scar on my stomach to show for it. So I'm known to internalize my anger too. So to be healthy, unhealthy.
I was gonna say, anger for me in the past and in the present too, like it clouds my judgment at the time. I want the satisfaction of whatever, the situation may be, I get prideful, but like it all depends to who I'm angry with. Like Marcus, I couldn't get angry with him as I would maybe like another client, Like I found myself in the past, like if it, I don't really want to argue because like you're not my girl, so I don't really want to argue, it's just simple as like what they call rapping, so it's more just like, I'll be quiet until I get there, simple as that. But like I say, it clouds, because I want satisfaction with whatever it is. Like say worst is a puppy. I want that satisfaction now, but I'm thinking of the consequences right there. I'm in the now thinking I'm angry right now. That's something like I still work on sometimes, I promise I didn't work on that, but it's definitely come a long way from when I was younger. But like I said, it's pride too. My pride gets away sometimes when I'm angry, depending what it is. It's like I gotta learn to bite my tongue because at the end of the day, it's like, why let somebody take over my feelings like that? That's where managing emotions comes in. Because honestly, it's like that. Just that little incident with one person can ruin my whole day. And that's not okay. I shouldn't allow that, or allow for it to just for me to react and have a negative consequence. Like I've lost jobs due to my anger, because my pride got in the way rather than just letting shit go. But instead, I want to say something to the person for lying on me. But at the end of the day, it's like, well, it's not that serious, If someone pissing me off, I'd rather than address it and let it escalate, I'm just trying to learn to kind of ignore it, because it's like, look, at the end of the day, I probably won't ever see this person again. Not just in here, in general. Someone pisses me off. I'm driving one day. Someone pisses me off. I'll probably never see this car again. Like driving through Miami or some shit. Someone pisses me off. It's all depends on the situation and where it's at. How I get angry here, it'd be different how I get angry with my brother. Like my actual blood brother. It's different. Like I said, my anger can sometimes cloud my judgment thought, but that's something I still have to work on, because at the end of the day, it's for me. I need to think of what I want out of the situation. What are the possible outcomes? And not thinking out of reacting out of impulse.
Okay. Anyone else? I heard Shadow over here when he was speaking. Does anyone want to share something? Kyle?
Yeah, I get angry, but I try to have self-control, not to act out. Not just outwardly towards other people, I get angry at myself too. Normally my anger would turn into resentment because I hold it in.
So is that a good thing?
No, not really. I mean, it's better than acting out on it, because acting out is kind of immature and useless. So you don't really make the best decision. But resentment is also like a poison. It just sits there and slowly eats you. But I don't get too angry. I mean, if I'm around something or someone that makes me angry, I just kind of walk away, or look at it as like stupid, not just like, why am I gonna react to something stupid? Like it's not worth the energy to exert the energy to get upset to. I don't know. It's a waste of energy to get angry at stuff you can't change or control.
Who can you control? Who can we control?
Ourselves?
Right. Therefore, it's up to you to control it or not. That's what Robert was saying. He's the writer. He has control of what happens, how the anger ends up. No one else. Because people who say, "Oh, he made me angry. Oh, he said this to make me mad." But is it really that person? It's a choice. You choose to get mad. You choose to feed into whatever situation is that. No one else. It's a choice. And every choice, there are consequences. Good, bad, and different. So we all choose. And some people don't take responsibility. Some people blame the event. But at the end of the day, it's a choice. Might not agree. Not. So, anger management. 10 tips to tame your anger. So, I'm going to read number 1. You agree, disagree, yay or nay? Think before you speak. I want to mention that. In the heat of the moment, it's easy to say something you'll later regret. And we all have done that, I'm sure. I have. Take a few minutes to collect your thoughts before saying anything and allow others involved in the situation to do the same. So is that a good idea?
Yeah.
Do we all practice it at all times? No.
I started practicing it when I got here.
How?
I said that's something that I do now. When I first got here, I wasn't angry, but I would get angry quick. Just the level of disrespect that was here, and I had to learn to just let the shit go and either ignore them and just. There was one guy, he probably got me out of character twice, but he's not here anymore. And but lately, I just feel like there's other people just throwing their negative energy towards me and shit like that, trying to get me to get off balance of what I'm doing now. And it's either I just sit there and laugh and just think about I can say something to them, and then it escalate to something else, or just fucking ignore them. That's what I've been doing lately. Just ignoring it. Because I actually stop and think and play different scenarios in my head. I can say this, say that. He's gonna say this and that, and it's gonna lead to something else. Or I could just laugh and forget it and ignore it and just let him be or them be, whoever it is. Let them go about their day because they might be having a bad day. I'm not gonna let them mess up what I got going on.
Absolutely.
I don't know about a few minutes, but I usually give it like a couple breaths worth, like at least like 5-10 seconds to kind of like breathe in and then like quickly formulate what I'm gonna say, you know. And when I don't do that, it looks like it did the other day when I lashed out at Marie. Like I just didn't breathe. Like that's what it turns. It just comes out as a jumbled, stupid mess of words that, you know, you either like didn't come out right or something that you didn't really want to say, you know. But typically I'll take like a quick breath and just like either let it go or like try to think of something to rebuttal with, you know, instead of just snap it back.
That's when you
Yeah, I mean, I learned a while ago, like you said, try not to get upset. It's just like a lot of it for me is just taking like a quick second. It's the same for me with like meditation. To me, that's like a form of like momentary meditation. It's like, all right, let me like pause right quick. All right, and now resume. You know, it's like I take that quick second, and it can be the difference between like cussing out your boss or like going, okay, I'm gonna shut up and sit back down and like find another way to prove the boss wrong, you know, rather than like be like, oh, you're wrong, you know, like it's.
That is true. Anyone else? Okay, number 2. Once you are calm, expressing anger, as soon as you're thinking clearly, express your frustration in an assertive, non-confrontational way. State your concern and needs clearly and directly without hurting others' feelings and trying to stay in control. Whereas in assertiveness, assertive communication is when you basically are stating, you use the I statement. I feel when this happened, it made me angry, and I don't like that because you stated this, and that. Easily said than done. Because when you're assertive, you're not aggressive, you're calm, you're mainly in your right state of mind, and you're expressing your emotions without being hyped or in the person's face or whatever. You have a simple conversation. That's how it's supposed to be. But it doesn't necessarily happen that way. Because therefore, you're trying to express yourself and then the person's cutting you off and then it starts all over again. So therefore, trying to maintain being calm, stating, when you slammed the door in my face, it hit me on the foot and it really hurt it and I was mad. But, why did you do that? Instead, oh, you slammed the door in my face on purpose, I'm gonna punch you in your face and all that. There's a totally different Since body language, everything has changed because you're not in that state of mind anymore. Anyone else? Has it happened to? Has it been in that state of mind?
I think a lot of that comes from emotional intelligence, you know, like EI.
Yeah.
Like when people haven't developed enough emotional intelligence to identify their own feelings or even the feelings of other people, because people will respond back to you with emotions typically. So when you're emotionally intelligent enough to express yourself in a way that is assertive without being aggressive, you know, you have better communication skills.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people have developed, I'm not saying here, I'm just saying in general, you know.
So who agrees?
I disagree.
Why?
I disagree because you don't have to be intelligent to be angry. Anybody can be intelligent. You can be this low, you can be this high, be angry. I mean, because there's a lot of people that don't stock market, they get angry every day. It's stock market. Then you got people that work at McDonald's, they get angry there because they got a people problem. I mean, so it's different levels. You don't have to necessarily go with your intelligence.
No, it's not brain intelligence. Emotional intelligence is like being aware of what's going on inside. It's not like smart it's not like, you can be a stupid person and still be aware of your emotions.
True.
I'm not saying it's like brain smart. It's not, it's like.
I'm still what you're saying, but I'm saying I'm just showing this point. Anger is like a positive thing too. Because you like he said in the Bible, even Jesus act out. I'm saying you can get angry, that's an emotion, but you don't have to act out. You see, your action is what you be accountable for. I could get angry all day long. I'm angry right now because I can't be with my damn loved one. So I guess I'm acting out on it? No. So it's the percentage in that 100 where you can be angry in a positive manner. Just like you said, being assertive. I mean, that's not negative, that's a positive. I mean, so the way is the way how it could go like Bobby said, your emotions, your feelings, the way what kind of mood you in.
Right.
Situation.
Yeah, you also say if you are aware
Yeah.
of what those are.
But yes, you have to do it.
So if you're not aware of the emotions and those feelings, of course you're gonna act out and not learn self-control. It's a
So that's why we feel when you first said it, we have a tendency of saying something that we regret. But you're aware. At that moment, you're not aware. But deep down in your subconscious mind, you know that you can try to make amends because you regret what you did, what you said at your mouth. Now you're trying to make amends for what you said. But at that moment, you were frustrated and angry at the situation of what that person done.
because your state of mind at that time, you're not in control. You're not the right.
True, that's true. I agree with you.
You want to say something?
Just he disagreed.
No, I agree.
He agreed with what I said.
With Ty?
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Like he said, you don't gotta be a smart person to realize if something's gonna blow up in your face if you react the wrong way. And you gotta fight your battle, you know what I'm saying? Which one, you know what to do, what not. You know, if you're not a smart person, you're gonna, or a common sense person, you're just gonna blow up and do something stupid and get arrested all the time. I've learned, I try to do, practice that for a long time. The whole time I was in prison before I came here, you know what I'm saying, I thought like that and I learned like that, so I think differently now. You know, I try to play different scenarios in my mind before I try to do something, say something.
So basically, we are here learning. So change your thoughts, behavior change, feelings change. So it's a learning curve. Some people backgrounds are different, environment, how they grew up, how they were raised. Because some people were raised in a house that everyone yells and screams, and people will perceive that as being angry, whereas that's all they know, that's their norm. when necessarily another person looking at it says, oh, it's angry, oh, it's mad, oh, it's arguing. But if they don't know any better, how are they gonna change?
I've met a lot of people that say someone in a household has like 6 or 7 people living in like a 2-bedroom house. To me, a lot of yelling, but it's not really yelling. It's just how it is with a lot of people in there. So when they get out in the community or in public, they act a different way because you're used to being around so many people in one house.
It's a real, I guess, sneaky part of anger too, which is passive aggressive. You know, a lot of people that walk around angry will do everything they can to irritate you. And when they do, then that's their way of being aggressive and angry. You know, and they just do it constantly. A lot of people are unaware of it. But passive aggressive behavior could really piss a person off. You know, I mean, it could really set people off. So, you know, that's kind of like one of those things in the background that a lot of people do use.
Okay, so this is where I would think assertiveness comes in. Because you can be assertive without being angry and, you know, say, you always do this, it makes me angry. Why do you always do this and this? Are you doing it purposely, unintentionally? Because the person might not be aware of what they're doing because they've been in that cycle for so long. How are they gonna stop unless somebody sit them down and say something? So that's where, you know, changing your thoughts, feelings, behavior, and taking a different aspect of how to handle a situation. Because some people change so just in a minute, 0 to 100. Therefore, you have to learn this control. Control yourself, being assertive, and also being aware of the other person, thoughts, feelings, and where they're coming from. Whereas every situation can be handled in a better manner. It's just how you perceive it. People perceive things differently, and therefore they take it to the next level, whereas it wasn't ever meant to be that way. So that's part of being in self-control. Okay, number 3, get some exercise. Who mentioned it? Somebody said that. I don't know which one. So therefore, when you're angry, people tend to, physical activity can help you reduce stress. It can cause you to become angry. That can cause you to become angry. If you feel you're angry, your anger is escalating, go back for a brisk walk. You could ride a bike, do push-ups, run, all of that.
I have to agree with that 100%. Working out for me, because I take pills like bipolar, depression and stuff. For me, honestly, I obviously can't do push-ups while I'm in a meeting or something like that, you know what I mean? But for me, taking a walk, walking my dog, riding my bike, working out. After that, an hour of that, everything's like stress goes away.
Absolutely. Increase the longevity of life.
The endorphins in the brain,
Yeah.
pumping.
I learned that staying busy up too.
Yeah.
Keep your mind from being idle. And keep it busy, you know, keep it on something else. You won't even have time to even think about getting mad. That's what I'm learning how to do for my age, you know, to help. Stay busy. I'll read anything.
Yeah. And another thing I think works for all kinds of issues is human might think it's not natural coloring. I think coloring. Coloring is a good tool to calm your mind, decrease your anger. If you're have anxiety or anxious or whatever, coloring soothes the brain, reconnects you. And,
Puzzles too.
puzzles, or people suffer with ADHD and all sorts of things like that. It keeps you in motion and it resets your brain, endorphins or whatever, and keeps it calm. So that's a good thing to do. So I identify possibilities of solutions. Just like what he said, he plays it out in his head. He thinks about it. He said, if I do this, this is gonna happen. If I do that, that's gonna happen. So therefore, you choose your battle. Is it worth it or is it not? If it's not worth it, you let it go. But therefore, it keeps you in a good state of mind and nothing escalates. Because it's not everything you need to be angry about. It's not, like I said, it's not every bell tolls that you answer to. So therefore, you walk away and leave it alone. Because anger, it's a good emotion, it's a bad. There's nothing wrong with being angry. It's how you act, how you control yourself while you're being angry. Okay. Let's stick with the I statement to avoid criticizing a place or placing blame who might only increase tension. Use the I statement to describe the problem. Be respectful and specific. For example, I am upset that you left the table without offering to help me with the dishes instead of you never doing your housework around here. You always eat and leave dishes on the table. I'm not your maid, so why don't you help me? So, I, not you. I. People tend to say you. I am upset because of this. I don't like this because of that. So when you communicate that among yourself, you're talking about you. You're not talking about Kyle. You're not talking about anybody else. You're talking about you. I am mad at the rules here. I don't feel it's fair. Not y'all make this up. Y'all do what you want to do. Y'all. No, because that's the way you think. So that will, I think, let's make people less angry because you're talking about yourself, how you feel, not anyone else. And therefore, things won't be misunderstood. I get construed and make people upset and create more discomfort, discord, So who feels using an I statement can help them in the long run.
I agree.
So we're gonna use I from now on. I am angry, I am mad, I don't like, I feel, being aware of your emotions. So when we are in the I, everything is expressed. You tell your feelings. Remember, you wanna say something? You wanna say something?
So you got to see
I
That's it. I have a
lot
lot.
to say. Pertaining to anger,
What? Everything. That's why I'm here. I ain't about it. Sure.
anger alone, what you do?
Who?
Anger alone?
Yeah, you see that. I told the police, okay, fuck it. Go my black ass on the jail because I got a loaded gun on there. And they got it on video.
Okay.
Ain't no, they could probably just keep me on the bond, but if I be saying that, they'll decide that, it's not gonna be.
Because what? You lost control, impulse.
I did lose control, 'cause I got frustrated.
Yeah, you're angry. So anger does not solve any problem. Anger is a normal emotion. We all have it, but how we express it. Group is not over. Why everybody needs it? So,
This thing on there.
so therefore, this is Group Gentlemen. Have a blessed day. I'll see you guys later.